I'm Dave Gubbrud. I've been coaching here since 2001, coaching the defense since about 2006.
My name is Beneke, and I've either played or coached football 63 of the last 64 years. I believe, organized football, I should say. I believe this is my 53rd year coaching, though I'm not quite sure. But I think at one level or another, it's my 53rd year.
I like the interaction with the guys. I love football. Football's been a part of my life since I was about 10 years old. Fall's my favorite time of year. I played for Coach Beneke, and I played at the school with Coach Howell, and then played 4 years in college, and I was not ready to be done, but I wasn't good enough to be a pro, so decided to go into coaching. But yeah, what I like the most about it is the guys. They keep me coming out here every day, and several times I thought about retiring, but then I think about the guys coming back, and I want to coach them and watch them get better and watch them grow up as young men.
Well, when I was a kid, I told my mom and dad that all I wanted to be was a football coach. I shouldn't say all, that's a wonderful thing. So, the childhood dream. I think what I love about it the most is the relationships, the kids, the camaraderie. I mean, there's nothing like it. I loved it as a player, 11 guys in the huddle, all pulling for the same thing. Each play is different, each play is an adventure. I love the game because there's a place for everybody who works hard. And it's just, it's such a game it's a very emotional game, but it's also a very complicated game. And a lot of people don't realize that, but I think it's the feelings, the emotion, the relationships. But I still love the game, but I think the thing that I like most is coaching the kids.
Well, I hope they had fun. They're a great group of guys. These seniors been through a lot with COVID and just coming into the program when we were maybe at an all-time low and didn't have very many players. And honestly, they were pretty small, and to watch them grow as human beings as well as their bodies and as players, they just turned into the amazing players that I thought they would.
I have a list of 15 values that I try to review before every game to kind of center myself as a coach. The number one value is that this is the kids' time. We coaches have had our time. Right behind that is that I want the kids, every one of them, to feel good about themselves. I want them to come away from the game, from the experience, feeling good about themselves, liking themselves, learning about themselves, and coming away just feeling like, that they have contributed, that they've been affirmed.
Man, I remember the COVID year when we started late and it was snow, and at that time I did not feel they were very good tacklers. And we made a decision that we weren't going to win that many games, and that we don't want to risk injuries in practice, but we just decided we had to get better at tackling, and so we just said we're going to live tackle every day until I feel like these guys are good tacklers. And we had several days of tackling out there in about 6 inches of snow. They had a great time with it, and if you haven't noticed, they're a pretty good tackling team right now.
About this senior class, I love them. This has been one of the most fun years that I've had coaching up here at Central. These kids were my last team down at Jimmy Lee. For many years, I coached both 5th and 6th at Jimmy Lee, and then I would come up here and coach. And the seniors, plus Levante, were my last team. We didn't win at Jimmy Lee, but we had fun. We had a good team. We weren't as talented as other teams, but we had fun and we really battled. And so that's what I'm going to remember about this group of kids. Is we don't have any superheroes. I really like that. We've got really good kids that care about each other, and that they just care. And they're very smart, but this is a fun, really good-hearted, for the most part, very hard-working, grounded, grinded out team. And these guys have learned, I was saying it tonight, they've learned, they've matured as a team. I think they've matured as individuals, and they're really learning to battle their way through adversity. And they're learning to win together and to take care of themselves and each other instead of turning on each other. And so, it's been fun.
Man, my advice to them is, well, they know how to be good people, and they just need to do that every day, and they need to give their all every day, and so they don't ever have to feel like they left something out there and they don't have any regrets. So, have fun, use good judgment, be good to other people, and I think they'll do that.
Be kind. Be kind. Dig deep, and when all else is falling around you, find a way to be kind to yourself. Find a way to be kind to those that you love. Find a way to be kind to others who are in need.
You know, this group of underclassmen is a good group. We need more of them. I'd like to see them take leadership of the school, kind of like our senior class this year did, and be a good example for all the other kids in the hall, and something that the school can be proud of and look up to. Not just as players, because they're good players, we know that, but just as ambassadors kind of to the whole neighborhood and the school.
Work your butts off. Now, we have a good group of underclassmen. These seniors they've earned their way. They've paid the price. They've worked hard. And underclassmen, and we have a very talented group of underclassmen coming back next year. But they got to work their butts off. If they work their butts off and really coalesce together, they could be a very special team next year. But they're going to work your butts off.
Well, I mean, one of the funniest things was one day after practice we decided to have a gritty contest. And I think it ended up being Aiden against, I think who he was going against, one of the big guys, might have been Karan. And I believe Aiden won. It was pretty funny. It was their dancing skills, I guess.
Well, one thing happened tonight when Coach Howell, our head coach, said something about, after Coach Gubbrud made a very impassioned, excellent remarks, Coach Howell said something about Big Daddy. And little James said, "Who's Big Daddy?" Coach Howell said, "Who do you think Big Daddy is?" I think that was a very precious moment. Some of the, for me at least, some of the good, hopefully good-natured teasing of kids like telling Karan, who's a very good student, Tron 2 comes after 1. Karan said, "I know that, Coach." And he said, "And Coach, 0 comes before 1. You're absolutely right, Karan.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that was a good moment. Karan is really growing as a person as well as a player. And I'm excited to see for his future. I mean, I've seen a huge maturation in him since he started last year. And actually, I've seen that in this whole team. And these seniors, well, they've come a long way from, because you probably recall when they were freshmen, we had a tough year. And all the injuries, the guys got kicked off. And we weren't very good. We struggled through. These guys got thrown in. I mean, imagine being a 9th grader getting thrown into playing varsity football. And your son is a great example. Coach Hall said, "Coach, you've had so many injuries to quarterbacks. Find me another quarterback." And so Joe was always the number one thing I look for in a quarterback is calmness. The number 2 thing I look for is intelligence. And probably the 3rd thing I look at is work ethic. That before we get to all the what you think quarterbacks do. And I could tell that Joe was somebody special, so I went up to him and said, "Joe, you ever played quarterback before?" He said, "Coach, 2 plays at Palace." I said, "Good, you're now the 8th string quarterback." And so And we brought him over, and then actually 3 days practice, he got to play quarterback. And the first game was a freshman varsity after Cole had been injured, and because Cole had been ahead of him, and juniors and seniors and everybody. And Joel acquitted himself quite well, considering that he, had a couple days of practice. So, that's I've had some memory, one of many memories that I'll take with me. But we laugh, and so we've kind of incorporated eighth string into our lingo. My grandson Sam was an outstanding quarterback in high school, and Sam came on to coach a couple of years ago, and I made him the eighth string quarterback coach. He's up to number 2 now. So, but anyway, eighth string is been a fun thing to remember.
Great group of parents. Never had a question that you guys have been supporting us. These senior parents, I've helped my family a little bit with some things, and thanks for raising such good sons and for helping them stick with us even when we get on them sometimes.
Be positive. At the coaching clinics, they say at least 5 positives for every constructive criticism. Be respectful of people's roles. Support, teach. Football's a very emotional game. Most kids know when they've made a mistake, and what they need at that point is encouragement and support, and when they're ready, teaching and how they can avoid that kind of mistake again. And the last 2 things, football's a lot of hard work, so it's got to be fun. But it's really important to be compassionate, to understand as best you can how much hard work goes into it, and in the end to be kind. And if you can be kind to each other and respectful to each other, then it's going to be a good experience no matter what your win and loss record is.
Well, tell me, you said we talked earlier, you said you were writing a book called The Eighth String Quarterback. Just tell me, if you're okay with it, just tell me a little bit about that.
Well, it hasn't been trademarked yet, but I've got a good friend who's a novelist who's helping me. But it's an ode to scout team players, subs, special teams players, linemen, walk-ons, and unsung heroes everywhere. And it's sort of at least at this point, it's a book centered in high school football, but it goes back in the day, and it ties in college football a little bit, and also ties in Little League football. And so it's going to have the whole gamut. I don't know, I'm trying to get it a little more focused right now every time I work on it. But my friend has said, make a list of all the ideas that pop into your head, because you may want to use them. And so my list right now I got 117 additional ideas, but it's written in inner city parlance. But I also should mention, I got rural and inner city, because that's what this is about. I mean, those are my roots, my grounding, and it's what I know. And a lot of unsung heroes, so it'll be